Good evening, Possibility War fans. It is the 6th of November, 2022, and we are still in Electric Power Trilogy Part 1, the Destiny map. We're finishing things up, but they're not going quite as rapidly as you might hope. We just have a different group of players. They like to plan things out. They like to talk things out. They like to joke amongst themselves, etc., etc. So what will be tonight, beginning the 17th session of our game, and granted, these are only about 2.5 to 3 hour games, so what you might have done as a GM or as a player in 3 or 4 or 5 personal game sessions, we're taking our time with, and we're enjoying it. If that's the way that you like to role play, then continue to listen on, because we'd love to have you here. As it is tonight, we're going to be picking up with the Nile Empire dig site, which shows up in Act 3, A Day on the Farm, and in Scene 1, Sneaking About. Although we're probably going to be going to Scene 2 pretty quickly, almost immediately tonight, because I got carried away last week and forgot to do the scene transition. That's literally my fault. There's nothing I can do to change that, nor would I. So anyway, we're going to get back into it tonight and have some fun, and away we go. Okay, I have to break in here again to give you a warning for the next set of videos. I'm going to be taking 2 or 3 weeks worth of videos. I forgot how long it wound up being, and kind of compressing them down to 1 week if I can, maybe a week and a half, I'm not sure. The ensuing combat at the Indiana dig site took a long time to play out, mostly due to innocent bystanders running all over the place. I wanted to give a sense of pandemonium to my players, but instead it wound up being a drudge through combatants to see who came out on top. I apologize to my friends for that. Forgive me. I am not going to put all of you through that in these videos. Instead, I'm going to go through and give highlight actions that took place in the various rounds, and hopefully it'll end up being kind of short. I will break the videos up by weekend by giving a little card in there, but you're not going to see the introductions for those weekends unless something significant came up in those introductions. Instead, I'm just going to kind of move through the combat as rapidly as possible, and I'll even give a warning for those that they're just, you know, it's just chock full of combat. So let's go ahead and get to the video, and I hope you're all able to enjoy it. There's nothing that beats a really good combat, but there's a lot to be said for keeping it succinct. Okay, so anyway, enjoy the evening, folks. Okay, and we are in the middle of sneak, sneak, sneak. You were in the middle of sneak, sneak, sneak. However, what I am going to do is have you guys go ahead and like we normally do, we'll kind of go through it. Connor, I'm going to start with you. What do you remember from last week, and then we'll see about getting at least basic agreement from others. Oh, Connor's still doing chores, isn't he?
He's got chores.
Okay, no problem. Then Ginger, you go ahead. You're next down the list.
Well, we had split into 2 groups. We've got Rios and Andon with me sneaking around the east to the north side, hoping to gain the trucks, while Andon and Rios are going to see if they can't figure out where these relics, these pit crews, which seem to be enslaved or forced labor camp, is digging up. It seems to be an archaeological site where they're digging up these plates that we're looking for, hopefully to find the archaeological plates. So, Andon and Rios are dressed as the Egyptian soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
and they do the nod and grunt and move along to the other guards because they're dressed that way. Well, I try to skulk around like in the bushes,
Okay.
and I'm going to head to the trucks and get ready to get us all out of here like a bat out of hell. Well, they're going to try to figure out a way to find the plates, or at least find where they're located, and free the slave encampment and get the plates, and we all get away. Same with Chris Cross and Anton
Artorias.
Artorias. They're going west and around to with the same thing in mind. They're probably going to view the tents and see if they can't see some of the bad actors that are enslaving everybody, but at least trying to search the tents. And they are also dressed like Egyptian soldiers, and they're doing the grunt nod thing as they move along, move along. Trying to
Okay.
be as inconspicuous as possible. Does
Okay.
that kind of summarize it, everybody?
Yeah.
Pretty good, yeah.
Anybody got anything to add?
Besides the fact that I have almost none of my belongings on me, nah.
I was able to roll all of Andon and Rios's belongings into that voluminous dress that she's got and kind of
Maybe.
mostly. I haven't
Maybe.
checked it, and I hope I got everything. But if but it's as sturdy as I can make it, and it's hoisted on my shoulders like like the equipment I used to carry as a fire person. So
Maybe.
distribution is as best as I know how, and I do have some skill at that, I would think,
Right.
as a fire. But yeah, we don't know how fair things typically fare in the living land when they're away from their person. Hopefully, I'm enough to cover it. My personal field is enough to cover what we've got.
Maybe. Okay. Now I'll have Connor do this when he comes back, but I want you all to go ahead and pop open your character sheets, if you would please. Go to your gear tab and make notes about what it is. And this is for Rios, Andon, Artorias, and Chris. To make sure about anything that's being left behind. Just look at your notes. They should be in the title for each item. If you don't have a note telling you it's too obvious or it's in the backpack or whatever, then you've got it on you. Okay? And that's no problem. And I'm going to leave it to you guys after the adventure is over to note what is what.
Okay, ready to start.
Oh, okay, all right. Welcome back, Connor. I was just telling, we just went over what happened last week with all of you skulking about, and we're going to deal with that. But I just told everyone else to check their gear for any notes about whether you're able to carry something or not. It'll be something like it's too obvious, or it's in a backpack and the backpack got left behind, or something like that. If you don't have a note on a particular piece of equipment, that particular piece of equipment is on you. You have it with you. Also, notice the statistics for the Schmeiser MP40s that you got off of the 4 Nile shock troopers that you took down. Okay? What's that?
So there aren't any notes on any of my items on my character sheet.
Hold on a second. Rios. Okay, so let's see. The saber is good. Wait a minute. Did we determine that the saber should be good because all of the guards have a short sword or something of type, so it should work. Your dagger is okay to take. Your melee weapons, that's your hand-to-hand, that's just your fisticuffs. The Schmeiser MP40 you can do. The Monster Hide Duster under armor says too obvious in the notes.
I've got it rolled up in the dress over my shoulders.
Maybe.
Oh,
with her
Oh,
disguise kit, and what else? The other things that she
Well,
was in.
there's a backpack that has mosquito netting, a gas lantern, a padlock, jewelry.
I kept the jewelry.
Yeah. Now, Rios, would you leave behind your spectacles, or
well, that
would you carry
depends. How
them?
bad is my vision?
Well, and that's the thing. You see others wearing spectacles, not sunglasses, but spectacles. There are some who are not as well seeing as others. So you can take your spectacles with you if you want. As a storm knight, small maladies such as not being able to see real well would have been dealt with in your transformation to a storm knight. Now, if you just have spectacles for the sake of disguise, I can understand that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure actually I would have them just for disguise.
Okay, your jewelry is in your backpack. Your lock picks are around your back where they're not easy to see, or around the backside of the skirt that you're wearing, or whatever. And they're not terribly easy to see. We rolled for that last week and determined that you could hide those pretty well. Your disguise kit is in your backpack. Your lighter is in your boot. You said that you were putting your lighter in your boot.
Yeah.
Your notebook is in your backpack. Your backpack is too obvious, so you would probably have to leave that behind. Your crucifix necklace, you can wear that beneath your tunic. The hemp rope is in the backpack. Cash is in the backpack. Silver jewelry, anti-monster stuff. Your mobile phone is small enough it could hide in the other boot, and you were able to hide your smoke pellets on you. So you have those. Yeah. Andon has the very same types of notes on him, if you would like to glance over those. For the rest of you, do you have any questions about the stuff that that is too obvious or is in your backpack? And all backpacks are going to be too obvious.
Nope, not particularly.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Now, the next thing I want to address is what is Peaches actually carrying? Okay. Andon's 450 Nitro Express is very long, and it's 11 pounds. It might be able to roll up in the dress, but it's going to be sticking out on both ends. Andon's Heavy Cuirass. It is the size of Andon's trunk, and is not going to be able to be rolled up in that dress.
A cuirass? Isn't that a type of sword?
No, a cuirass is it's basically a chest and back piece of armor, and it's generally pretty heavy. It's a step below boilerplate. How's that? Let's see.
I might not have been able to take that. I would have jettisoned your survival kits, or put them all together until I had one of them. One
Okay.
only.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So we're going to say, oh, be good if I had some lead here. X to that, and X to that. But all of this got moved into the backpack. And it wouldn't really take long to shove all that stuff together. So
And
do you,
I'd have tossed obvious duplicates.
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. So basically, you've got a single kit with the extra stuff that Andon and Rios would not be able to take with them.
Correct.
Okay. So the Monster Hide Duster, dress, and boots, those are malleable. Those can fit in. But with cutting out the extra, or if you take Andon's 450 Nitro Express and his ammunition, you're talking 21 pounds on its own.
Okay, she's supposed to be able to carry 150 pounds, I think. What is her?
But what about you? What about all your gear?
My gear is limited to my backpack with my survival kit, but if I consolidate them down into one, I have my axe, a sword, and my power gloves. Some throwing stars, and
Both
my
of your
shotgun.
axes. Yeah. Yeah.
I also have my med kit, a cell phone. I also have some smoke pellets.
Okay, do you understand the weight that you're carrying and the bulk just with your stuff?
Yeah. But I'm not carrying any heavy armor. Remember, it's that Iramesh clothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus,
no, that I remember.
I have a tool belt where I have a flashlight and my binoculars and my cell phone.
Okay.
And ammunition. So I have a bandolier belt or a tool belt on.
Okay, so with everything together,
here's what essentially I have a tool belt that I've holstered as much as I can on.
Mm-hmm.
A backpack where I've stowed other people's ammunition and stuff that they're not going to need right now,
Mm-hmm.
plus my medical kit. And my own and the combination survival kit, which is why I've jettisoned a lot of the heavy extra stuff.
Okay.
I do have some rope, which I'm thinking I might jettison, but it might come in handy to tie it. Zip ties are in my bag now, so I might jettison the rope.
Oh. Okay.
Throwing stars are small and slip into a vest pocket. But the heavy stuff, like 2 other people's worth of gear rolled up in a heavy, in a dress.
Uh-huh.
I have it distributed like in a long roll and distributed across my shoulders.
Okay.
With their weapons as needed. So my strength, what is my strength? Just straight strength is 9. And how much does that mean I can carry?
Okay, that means that you can carry 60 pounds.
What? No, that doesn't seem right.
Well, hang on a second. You've got a strength of 9. What is the base? The base is kilograms. So pounds is actually -2. Now, do you want to go with the 60 pounds or do you want to go with 25? Actually, no, wait a minute. That's right. That has to be flipped. No.
So 60 kilograms to
pounds. I know. That seems pretty weird.
That's about 100.
So that's about 150 pounds. Yeah. So I've got to change that to a plus because of being able to exchange stuff. I thought that was wrong on the basic chart, and I did some conversions, and it was like that doesn't seem right. So kilograms is the base weight in the game. To convert that to pounds, you add 2 to the value and then figure out the measure from there. So in real life, 60 times 2.2 is what? It's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it's 120.
60 times 2.2, 132 pounds. So okay, so it's 60 kilograms would still be less than that amount, but I would say you could carry the extra 18 pounds, but it might slow you down a bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
but remember, I'm also not running through the jungle.
Nope. I know.
I'm moving as slow and carefully as I can through the jungle.
Yep.
So I'm using my training to distribute things equally or evenly. I'm doing my best to pack as light as possible by getting rid of any duplicates.
And that's all cool. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna say that you can carry it, but if you try to get into combat with it, you are going to be at a penalty of 4 for all of that. Okay.
Well, I might just drop it and then go into combat.
Yeah. Got to be careful when you drop stuff, though, in the living land. It could disappear. Okay.
Well, that's why my stuff is on my tool belt that I don't drop.
Right, exactly. Okay, so here's the deal. I kind of got ahead of myself last week. The action was rolling along really well until we had to slow it down and determine who was carrying what, who had left stuff behind, etc., etc. So I have to back up a little bit, and I've got to tell you that you actually moved into scene 2, into the dig. Okay, so what we need to do for a moment is take a look at the scene ending, general game information, advancement and completion. Let me ending a scene. Okay, and let me show the players now. Configure ownership. Everybody should be an observer. Okay, so when you guys look, you should see a widened version. You should see the printed material on the right, and then on the left you should see a kind of a table of contents. Do you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, click on ending a scene, and that will tell you where we're at. Did you guys all get your pools shuffled back into your hands?
Yes.
Yes.
I did, sir.
Okay, if any of you have less than 4 cards in your hand, draw up to 4 from the Destiny deck.
Dang it, I
Dang.
had 4. I would have liked more.
I was down to 2.
Well, then you'll be happy to get some new cards then.
Yeah. Ooh, these are good cards too.
Yeah. You know, I need to reverse those two. Huh?
Is there anything you need to exchange for a possibility, Cat? Or play right away?
Yeah, that's a good
Not that I
question.
can think of.
Okay, did any of you have... I need to reverse that. That's ridiculous. Do any of you have more than 4 cards in your hand? Let me
Nope.
do
I'm down to
nope.
4.
Okay. Let me do something real quick
Well,
because...
say that.
I do.
4 plus 1 Cosm card.
Oh, okay.
For a total of 5.
So 2... That's what I should have done. 3... Okay, yeah, a total of 5, including the Cosm card. If you have more than 4 cards, draw down to 4. And let me change that because that's incorrect. I should have had players with a hand of more than 4 cards have to choose which cards to discard, and then we would have people draw up to 4 if they were less than 4. I took that straight from the rules too. It's ridiculous. Okay, if you've gotten let's see, if you... There we go. Remington discards transfer. Okay, thank you. Now, all of you have an option to discard one of your 4 cards and draw a new one if there's a card that you don't like in particular.
I think so. Just discard and draw.
Yeah, you would just discard the card and draw the new one from the Destiny deck.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Monologue could be handy, man. Okay.
I'm monologuing enough to myself.
Oh, well.
Exactly.
Okay.
That would be perfect then.
Okay. Then I'm going to need to go through and edit all of these. Let me make a note. Edit, act, and scene completion for proper order. I don't know why I've never looked at that before, but for proper order. Okay. Now, then in that case, we are now in scene 2. And what I want to do is give a little read, and then I'm going to have Rios and Peaches and Andon kind of move first, and then I'll get to Artorias and Chris. Let's see. The dig site covering the Stevens farm, where the barely outlined foundations of the main house, barn, and farmhand quarters remain visible, lay below you in a rapidly excavated hole in the ground roughly 2.3 million square feet in size. You've been here moments and already seen so many things that raise alarms in your mind that the insidious Wuhan may recover the tiles before you can even get to the site, although the activity below seems to be telling a different story. Shock trooper... Oh, no, not going to read that because that one doesn't have anything to do with it. and you've already discussed what you're going to do. See, I got ahead of myself last week, so that's my fault. So, Rios and Andon, you do have a disguise on. You've got shock trooper clothing on, including tunics, so that you're not eaten up by all of the jungle creatures that are out here to eat you up. But your legs, for whatever reason, are still bare. And yes, you are getting eaten alive, but you're going to survive. Trust me. Now, Rios, I want you to think about how you and Andon want to enter the dig site. Where and how, based on what you can see right now.
Is there a locker room anywhere?
No. No, there's this big pile of rocks right here. I don't know if you see that or not. But that big pile of rocks stands about 6.5 feet high. But in order to get in, you would have to be out of sight of any potential guards, which would require a stealth test at a difficulty number of 10 if you want to get in there. If you want to wait and find a better entrance and continue kind of to travel with Peaches, you can do that too.
I would like to pitch an idea to Peaches that perhaps we pretend that we have just caught her, an intruder, and are bringing her to the center of the camp to discuss things with our superior.
I would hope that we could get all the way around to the other end by the trucks and me hide there. That's rather than that, and then you guys can attempt to explore the tents and try to find out where the plaques are. That's our goal, is to try to be as stealthy as possible.
Gotcha.
If it comes down to it, if our cover is blown for any reason, definitely do that. That's plan B, though.
That would be a good, strong plan B. That's for certain. So then, do you guys just want to move along?
Yeah, just move along.
Okay.
Who did we say was the stealthiest out of the three of us?
You.
Me?
Peaches, yeah.
I'm like Lassie stuck in a well. How am I the stealthiest?
Because you're the stealthiest. Hey, hang on a second. Let me see if I can get your sheet open here.
Sure. Did you find my that X? No, the XP still is there.
12. Did I find your what?
My XP is still there. Did you change the stats that I wanted to change?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were supposed to change the stats that you wanted to change. I changed your XP that night, last weekend.
It should be 0, but it still shows 11.
You sure it should be 0? Hold on. Are those my notes from last week? Where's my notes from last week? Did I No, I added everything in. Let's see. Wuhan's tent. Nope, that's from recording Curse of the Guy Bolga. No, I got once I changed things, I got rid of the notes. Let me see something real quick. Let's see. I need Storm Knights, Possibility War, GM notes for Peaches. Okay, so that's 160, and let's see. Did I forget to change those? Yeah, I forgot to change that. Hang on.
Well, if it comes down to combat, I really want my dodge up that 1 point.
Well, I mean, you didn't improve those from last week?
No, I told you which ones I wanted to improve.
But you didn't change them.
No, I didn't.
Oh, crap. Okay, hang on. I've got those. I can deal with this. So let's see. Yep. Where? Oh, where?
I don't think I did.
Okay, hang
I
on.
upped my dodge. I upped my
Nope.
taunt.
That's Artorias. Go back to Peaches.
Luck, and I can't remember the other one. One, two.
Okay, so
three.
there was dodge, lock picking, taunt, and persuasion. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's exactly 11 points. So your dodge should be at 3. It is.
Okay.
Your lock picking should be at 2. It is. Your taunt should be at 2. Taunt? Where's taunt?
Up
Oh,
top.
taunt is up top. Is at 2, and then your persuasion should be at 4,
Okay.
which it is. Okay, so you're squared away. Any of the rest of you want me to check it, or did you already change yours?
I mean, I
First,
don't think I had any changes. So.
I don't think you or Rios had any changes.
but Arturos, I can't remember if you had any changes. Did you?
I didn't make any changes to mine.
So maybe
Okay.
it was Chris and Artorias, then Rios. Let's take a look here. GM notes. Let's see. Beast riding. You improved your beast riding to 1. That's what it was, and you've already got it changed, so you're good to go. Okay. Now, what was I doing? I guess you guys were moving. So you've got 8 squares to move if you're going to stay together, because Rios only has a dex of 8.
Yeah, I was kind of keeping up with them and letting them move. Well, actually, I was kind of showing them a path, wasn't I? But I was only moving 8 squares.
Actually, let me see something. Hold on. Andon no longer... Oh, that's right. Andon's at 1 wound because he's a follower. The heavy Kyrus came... Oh. Okay. Paul, get back to it.
You okay?
Well, what I'm trying to do is
He's a lycanthrope.
Just tell me at the mouth.
Somebody get him a rabies shot. So Andon's dexterity normally is 8. His heavy Kyrus makes sure that he stays at 8. So that is his max. Now, what about you? Do you have something you're no longer wearing? Okay, the Monster Hide Duster. So your stats are, you also have a dexterity of 8. So you and Andon are both at 8. So that's the maximum that you can move by walking.
Well, you said the heavy curse he couldn't wear and still be in costume.
Correct. That's why I just hit the X on it in his active effects tab, so that it was removed. You know what? I got it.
Am I able to carry that if possible? I would attempt to drag it. It seems
The
armor is important. It's a well-fitted armor is important. I know this.
right. Well, let me look up in his. Okay, I got to move back over here now. Hang on, I'm getting there. Okay, the heavy cuirass that he wears is, let's see, tech level, minimum strength of 12. It doesn't say how much it weighs. That's great. But it's a heavy cuirass, and I know that cuirass is generally pretty heavy, and it's not going to tell me in here, is it?
So he's pretty much like a conquistador in a pressure cooker.
Hey, that's a pretty apt description. It really is. Okay, armor. In Aurosh, heavy cuirass. So, let me get over here. Heavy... Oh, there's no heavy cuirass listing in here. Cuirass. A rigid steel vest that protects the chest, back, and vitals, usually smooth and angled to help deflect blows, but there are versions that mimic musculature instead. So it's, I guess it could be considered like a Roman style thing, but in Victorian times a cuirass was not shaped to look like anything. So, I mean, they literally were just barrel-chested things, okay?
Yeah, it might be slightly pointed at the front, so the blows aimed at the chest go to the right or to the left.
Basically, yeah.
So, yeah, imagine a conquistador.
Heavy cuirass weight. Let's see what this does. Oh, get that out of there. Heavy cuirass weight. Let's see. Ancient Greek soldiers wore and carried armor usually made of bronze that weighed about 70 pounds. Now, move that forward to Victorian era, and you're talking probably 30 to 35 pounds. So that's going to be pretty heavy, and you're already carrying probably about 115 pounds. So with the weapon and even with everything that was taken out of the packs, all of your gear, all of their gear that's not left behind because it's a copy, you know, that sort of thing. You're talking some pretty heavy weight. So if you want to try and carry the Cuirass, you can, but it's heavy. I mean, you might be a tough firefighter, but it's heavy.
Anyway, I could say, yeah, I'll attempt it, but it'll be the first thing I drop, and the rolled up dress across my shoulders, if needed, so that I am as
lithe and light as possible.
Right. I mean, I'll try to at least get it with us so that I could stage it nearby if you had to need it. But yeah, I won't jettison it unless there's a need. How's that? But if I perceive that there's a need, or if it gets too difficult, I'll bury it and note its location and then keep going.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, so you three go ahead and move your 8. I'm going to go ahead and watch this so I can see if anybody's going to notice you at all.
The game is paused.
Oh, hey, the game is paused. Sorry about that. Hey, Kristen or Connor didn't have to tell me tonight.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Slamizel, Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated. What about you, Rios? You and Andon. And don't forget, you guys can move together.
Yeah, she could group them both to move at the same time.
Yep.
I keep forgetting how to do that.
Okay, so left click and drag to select both of them. Okay.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. If you're not in control of them, then okay. So this shock trooper right here turns just in time to see you, Rios. And he nods as you guys are going past. Now, I am going to roll a find test for this guy, but it's a pretty high level. We'll call it a 12. Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Holy crap!
Glory on the son of a gun! Oh.
He could glory. Okay.
Oh my god.
He knew every single person's name on the dig site and can recognize them by face.
Damn, we just passed by the guy with a photographic memory.
Okay. How to describe this?
Threw you off.
Hey, it was in the game. It was in the game. That is.
Save it all?
Huh?
Do we get any kind of save at all?
Your save is based on your stealth, okay? And with a roll like that, a 26 versus a basically a actually, you know what? Let me see. Well, 26 versus that. Unless one of you has a value of 16 on your stealth, and it'd have to actually be 17 on your stealth. You're seen.
Me?
Yes, you too.
Well, I can try to roll it.
Well,
it doesn't matter so much if they can play it casual, or at least try to play it casual.
Yeah.
Like, But me, I'm you know, I've
You're
hit the
carrying
dirt.
a humongous amount of stuff.
Yeah, I've hit the dirt. Let's
Okay,
see.
you know what? Go ahead. You roll stealth. Just you. So no bonus from the other two.
What's
because
the difficulty?
just standard. Just roll a standard.
Uh,
You've got a standard success, but you would need to roll an action total higher than what he has.
well, there was a chance. It was
Yeah.
worth rolling.
There was a chance.
Uh,
Okay, so here's how I'm going to describe it. Peaches, you walk in toward the camp just a little bit, or toward the dig site just a little bit, and you rustle through a couple of bushes, and this gets the guard to start turning away from all of the Jacots that are working around him. But the look on his face is more curiosity until he actually sees the last of the bundle that you're carrying on your shoulders disappearing behind some vegetation and the tree. But that's when Rios and Andon, disguised, come from behind a tree and some bushes, and he looks at them and recognizes them as on his side. Okay, but he's still very suspicious, and he's in his best Egyptian. You guys are going to hate me. He asks some manner of question. Now, Rios, being a Victorian, it is quite possible that at some point or other, especially being an adventurous type such as yourself, you may understand what he's talking about. Now, let's take a look at your notes real quick, which I realize none of you have actually transferred back and forth between your character sheet and your secretive notes section. But, okay, under languages, I'm not showing anything. Okay, on your journal, on your journal entry. Okay, do you know where that is? The journal?
Hold on. There we go. I found it.
Okay. Okay. So you can pop that open and kind of look for yourself. Now let's look on notes here. No, that just tells you to pop open your journal. That's right. In your notes tab on all of your character sheets, you should see a title called Storm Knight Journal, and then you should see your character's name. You should be able to pop open that journal from there at any time you want, directly from your character sheet. I recommend keeping that part there, and then you can determine what goes on your notes tab and what stays in your journal. I recommend anything you want to keep secret, keep it in your journal, because those are observer only for you, for your character. So, now, here's the next question. Does Rios have languages? No. No, she does not.
Nope.
Can I whisper translation to her? I do.
Okay, let's see. How many points do you have in your Egyptian?
I should have at least one.
Let's pop that open. Okay, Egyptian Arabic, you have 1 point. That gives you a 9 for the value. Now, there's an alternative here, and let me point it out. And I know it sounds like a cheat, but this is, after all, a game about reality and changing your reality. Rios, you have 12 experience points that are unspent. if you would like, put 5 points. You spend 5 of those points to grab language. Now, why 5 points? Because language is a bolded skill. Okay, you cannot use that skill unskilled. You would have to have at least 1 point in there. Okay.
Got it.
5 experience points would allow you to add 1 point to language, if you want to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to decrease this to 7, and that will allow you to get 1 point, and I will, let me write this down so that it is in the notes. Okay, Rios, languages 1, 5 XP. Okay, and again, that gives you at 1. Okay, now what does that do? Okay, that would give you a possibility of a 10 for the skill test, to be able to understand what this guy right here is asking.
Can I roll it too? Just to see if I can help her?
Yes, you absolutely can. Actually, you know what? I do want you to roll it separately, please.
All right, so we both roll language separately?
Yes.
All right.
And
standard difficulty?
Yeah, standard difficulty.
Where is my languages? I see only French listed twice.
Okay, hang on just a second. Look on your notes tab. Okay, so that's not very good, but hold on, Rios. Let me...
I could be whispering in your ear, and hopefully I do a little bit better.
Maybe. Okay, on your notes tab. Okay. I'm supposed to add those custom skills when the system allows them. I think those custom skills can be allowed now, but I haven't added them yet. Your Egyptian Arabic has a base value of 9. You only have 1 point in it on your notes tab. Okay? And this is not in your journal. This is in your character sheet notes tab.
So how do I roll it?
You're going to roll a standard D20 on the Torg dice down at the bottom in your macro bar, and then we'll figure it out from there. That's not very good either, because that's
a possibility on this. It's important that she either capture me or say, I didn't see anything.
Well, now hold on. You two can coordinate with this, okay? Now, Rios has the higher general language total. It's not specific like you have, but Rios, would you prefer to spend the possibility?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want me to decrease your possibilities, or do you want to do it? Because I've got the possibilities back down here in the left.
Would you please?
Okay, that's done. Go ahead and hit possibility on your card. Ooh,
nice.
That's much, much better. Okay, so Rios kind of changes reality for the two of you, and both of you get to understand at about the same level. This guy is asking, who was that?
Oh boy, excuse time.
Make it a good one, I'll give you a possibility for it. Because you guys are in a heap of crap. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she could go, what? Where? Point it out. And pretend to look and say, I don't see anything.
That's one suggestion. But what do you think, Rios?
Yeah, go on the alert. You know, and immediately try to follow Wally's directions.
Or another possibility is we could be like, don't you know?
Yeah, well then how do you follow that up?
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to take a minute and think up a way to answer? I'm writing down these skills so that I can get them put in for Peaches. There we go. Okay, I'll do that probably tomorrow. Do you want me to bounce over to Chris and Artorias while you're trying to think up a way to deal?
Yeah, should we move over to the sidebar?
Yeah, if you guys want to move over to the sidebar, go ahead, and then when you're done, come on back and I'll hit you up as soon as I'm done with them.
Okay, remind me how to go to the sidebar?
You left click on the sidebar. It's going to ask you if you really want to transfer there. You hit confirm on.
What sidebar? Where?
Okay, look in
Discord.
Discord.
I'm looking in Discord.
Below the Torg Eternity channel, below the channel that you're in right now, look and see sidebar. Do you see that?
No.
What do
Oh,
you-
there it is. Okay, sidebar. Come.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll see you in a
I'm
few
on the way.
minutes.